All right. Can everyone see my screen now? Let me get some yeses in the chat. Can you see my screen? Just to make sure it's all working fine. Okay. I'm gonna move the chat. Come on, chat. All right. Yes. Okay. Good. 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 Awesome. Awesome. What was I gonna say? Okay. We're gonna get started shortly. For those that join us later, that's fine. They can always catch up with the video recording. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. Walaikum salam, Astu. Thanks for joining. So for those that just joined, I just asked so far, did you try the project? So give me the number 3 in the chat if you tried the project. For those that, let me see how many people now. We have about 8. I think there's just one person that's joined again so far. Astu, did you? Okay, I was expecting that from you because I know you always, you know, you're always very active, attempting all of these different things. But that's good. That's good. Did you get it to work, Astu? Yes, no? Oh, okay. It's all good. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let me go ahead and let's see here. All right, so this is the project. Someone asked about the project, right? So this is the project that was given. It's a publicly available code out there created by this person right here at Talbot Print. All credits to this person, wherever they are. So I told you guys to try to take this code, and they use their own computers and all that, and try to see if you can get this code to work. All right, see if you can follow, right, and then get it to work. Okay. So as I can see now, some of you have tried and you did not get it to work. And Antoine, if you're still listening, you didn't end up getting it to work, right? I remember saying something about we can talk about it today. Antoine, in the chat real quick, did you get it to work? Yes or no? No, 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 not on CloudFormation. No, we didn't say anything about CloudFormation. We're just putting this on a EC2 instance and putting it behind the load balancer. Okay, so Antoine, you did not get it to work. Abdullah Shah, no, CloudFormation is a little too advanced for now. We haven't even, yeah, we're not, yeah. But if you're able to do it with CloudFormation, then that means you're way advanced, right? At the end of the day, most companies or some companies are looking to do what we call infrastructure as code, right? Where they can write all of this infrastructure, all this EC2 and S3 and everything. They'll write it as a code and they just deploy it when they need it, and it's to deploy the stack, right? So yeah, we're supposed to take this from what you've learned so far in the previous weeks. You're supposed to take this and try to replicate, right? And put this on an EC2 instance, put Nginx, install Node.js. Node.js is very popular these days, right? Node.js, React, for front end. Go by Google also, it's very popular, right? And we know the classic popular ones, right? Java, Python is still very relevant. In fact, very common. If not even the number 1 today, just because it's more used in ML, machine learning these days as well, and data science, right? As it relates to data science. Okay, so guys, without any further ado, let's just get to it. So what I wanted to check with you guys real quick is, let's think about it. We need to get the code, right, from the website, right? We need to get the code. Let's say we have the code. Now, if you follow the instructions, right, from the website, in this case, he was telling you everything to put in each folder. But at the end of the day, I already collected the whole thing because he put it in a Git folder. Where's my control find here? He already put it in a Git in GitHub, right? Meaning everything is telling you to do here, all this code that needs to go into different folders, right? Remember that final folder that your developers are gonna give you and say, here's the code we need you to, we need to go in the pipeline, right? For example, if you're using a DevOps pipeline and things like, oh, this is the code we need to go on EC2 instances, and please make sure that there's auto scaling and load balancing, okay? And that's your job to design how that's gonna fit, on an EC2 instance, and imagine that they've already created the database as well, right? The database is already pointed to the right endpoint in the directory, right? But of course, we're going to do that part in this case today, right? Because this code, as the developers have told us, needs a database. But in this case, we're going to take that burden of creating a database and putting it inside the code. Okay, so it's a great experience for you guys too. All right, and we've done this before, but again, we're going to do it now today. And I actually like this code better from the previous example we did. You'll see why later on, because this just makes things a lot more easier. We can easily copy this onto different EC2 instances without having to change the code of the IP inside the machine. This was written in a very nicer way than the previous example. So you guys should learn a lot of stuff here today. Of course, there's going to be some repetition because we're going to try to do everything like we did last time. Some housekeeping. The CLI commands that you're going to use for today, pretty much the solution. Right? The solution. It took me some time also to troubleshoot and get this code to work, right? But yes, guys, I did get it to run. Okay, I did create a database. I did give it a database, and it did work. So you would see where you were wrong today, where you made some mistakes. Okay, remember, it's okay. And like I always like to tell people as well, don't try to memorize these steps. Okay, you might look at this CLI and try to memorize it so you can know how to upload. No, nobody does that. Okay, the more projects you work on, the more familiar you get with how things work, but you will have your notes on the job. Okay, so don't think I have to cram all of this. Please, I'm repeating this over and over again because I get messages on LinkedIn, right? Like you're having someone saying, I'm having a hard time retaining the content. If you're retaining means like all of these things, as it relates to cramming or memorizing, don't think about that. Think about you having notes you can rely on to build those projects. Okay, you have your Word document, or you have your spreadsheet, or you have a website to go to. You know how to Google to find out how to get the job done. Okay, it's all about knowing, just have a general idea of how you need to approach the problem. That's all you need to know. Right? And from the repetition from the past 3 weeks, the past 12 weeks, you guys are getting better at that. Okay, I'm getting better at that because I'm having fun, trying these things out, getting it to work, and then teaching it to you guys. Okay, and as you're putting this on your resume, remember the goal of all of this is for you to list them on your resume as projects. List them. Do not be afraid to list them. If you have to do it over and over again because you're not getting one or two things, repeat. Okay, it's okay. All right. Okay, not to divert, not to go into too much tangents there, guys. We have 15 people now. So I had 8 earlier. Just to add again before I move on, from the 15 people that I now have on the call, who attempted last week's project? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to answer. Give me a number 3 in the chat if you attempted. If you attempted the project from last class. 5, 4, 3. Astu, yeah, I got you. You mentioned that earlier. Who else? Who else from those that just joined? From those that Antoine, yes, I know you already said yes as well. Who else from the new 7 people that joined? From last class, you attempted the homework, the take-home project. You attempted it. 3, 2, 1. Okay. No, never mind. We'll resolve it together today. So guys, download this. This is the commands. Pretty much the solution for today's for last week's project that I gave you. Okay, so we're gonna try to follow these steps that I've put together, okay, in order to get that code to work. Okay, so yes, this is different from the previous one. It's different from this one that we used for the last example, the last project. Okay, this is a new one. Okay, this is the new procedure that I've put together. Okay, All right, please download this Node Sucker app CLI command. Someone please post the drive on the chat for me, okay? Someone in the audience, I know some people might, I always get that question, where's the link to the drive? So if someone can please volunteer and post the link in the chat, I would appreciate that. Awesome, thanks S2. Okay, so yeah, Node Sucker app. Now let's get started, guys. This is the instructions we're supposed to follow from the code that's online. Okay, you all are aware of that. Now from what I was saying right now, guys, we know that this code needs a database, and that database is what? MySQL. Okay, so we need to go into AWS RDS, right? We need to go into AWS RDS to go and create this MySQL database, and what? Insert the credentials, right? The username and password here, so that the application can use that to talk to the database. Okay, so that the application can use that to talk to what? To the database, RDS, MySQL, the database that resides on where? On AWS. Okay, the application, right? App.js, for example, right? The application that our developers have written, the code, needs to talk to the database so that whatever users, think about this, guys, whatever users input in the application, when we host this, we put it behind the load balancer, maybe use a Route 53, you make it secure and all that. So your users are now able to go see the code. So when users enter when the soccer players, in this case, when the soccer players input their information in here, right? The app needs to what? Talk to the database to write it to the database permanently. Okay? So that can be retrieved later on, or can be viewed by the users if they need to view it, if they need to retrieve it, or if they need to add new information. Okay? So that's that, and we know that this app is written in Node. Okay, Node.js was used. All right, guys, let's get to it. First and foremost, please download the code. This is the code right here, and I hope you guys have done that. We're not going to repeat too much about that. Let me go to the code now. Let me go to the code. Source code, Node MySQL Soccer. Okay. So here in this case, guys, please open this down. Open this somewhere. Okay, open this out somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna move it to the side now. I'm just telling you guys, please open the folder out. Open the folder out, because I want us to make the changes before we put it in S3. I want us to make some changes here before we put it in S3. Because I like this session to be interactive, I'm gonna open the floor now. I want you guys to unmute. Tell me, what are some things you think we should edit in this code before we put it in S3 to make life easier for us? Quickly, someone unmute and tell me quickly. First person.
The IP address of the instance.
The address of the instance. But you know what? I like this code because we don't need to do that. We just say localhost in this case. But that's a great suggestion as to the last code we worked with. I know we had to pick the public IP, but in this case, it just makes life easier that we can say localhost and it will work. Okay, so but usually, yes, if there's a need to change the IP in the code, we will do that. But in this case, let's just say our developers did a fantastic job, right? The app is completely stateless, right? We don't need to make those static changes, right, to change IP addresses within the code for it to work. We can just use what is usually expected, what is the norm, to say localhost, right? So that way we can put the code on any new server and it will work. So, but great suggestion as to, I know you said that because of what you've seen before, but assume that this was done much. Our developers did a better job in this time around. So we don't need to, when we launch an instance, we have to take the public IP and put it inside the code before, it's recognized and before it works well. No, but great suggestion. I know why you said that. What's the next thing? There's one, I think I already mentioned it. The endpoint for what? Who's this? Is this still us2? Who said endpoint? Come back. Amani. Hi.
For the database?
Database. Yes, Amani. Database. So as2, Amani, great job. But the thing we need to change in this case now, again, as2, I love that you mentioned that, the IP address. This is much better than the last examples. But in this case, we'll have to change the database, okay? And that's on us to do. We're going to add the database. So let me see here. And I think the database is in the app dot but we'll get there. Let's do first things first. Okay. First things first. Give me 1 second. Let me minimize this very well. Okay. Let's go create the RDS, guys. Let's go create the RDS. Let's go create RDS. I'm hoping we can finish this within an hour, but you guys get the idea now. We usually go, somewhat over an hour, but it's you guys understand. RDS. 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 Okay, and then we go to databases on the left. Databases on the left, and then we create database on the at the top right there. We see create database, right? Choose MySQL, and all of this. You guys should be like doing this even way ahead of me, right? Because you've done this over and over again. MySQL. What else? What else? Free tier, because we want this to be within the free tier. Let me call it Node Soccer. Node Soccer. Yeah, Node Soccer app. Admin, add a password. What else, guys? What else? Yeah, general purpose. Enable storage auto scaling. No. What else, guys? Default VPC, yes. Subnet group, we leave that. Choose yes here. Okay. Remove default for security group. Remove default for security group and choose which one? Our web server security group, right? Web server security group. Okay, click outside. Now we know that we only have this security group. Sorry, guys, did someone correct me in the chat? Did you guys see me choose web server security group? What should I be choosing, guys? There you go. DB security group. And you guys might have might have spelled it out full, but I do short forms like this, abbreviations. So database security group. Okay, availability zone, we always try to just use 1A, right? Additional configuration 3306, that's fine. Don't change that. That's the port that MySQL uses. Additional configuration here don't put anything. Okay, our developers have given us the code to use in our database once it's deployed. Okay, so don't put anything there. Let's not put anything there. Okay. What else? Enable automatic. We don't need automatic. We're gonna terminate this at the end of the lab, right? We don't need automatic backups. Here, just for the recommendation, we're just gonna choose those 3 logs, right? Enable auto minor version upgrade. We don't really need that, but you can leave it. Maintenance window, no preference. Yeah, and then we just go ahead and create the database. Let me just make sure everything here is set. General purpose. Okay, NodeSoccer app, MySQL standard, free tier. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and create now, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and create. Okay, let's open a new tab so we can create our EC2 that this code needs to live on, right? So open link in new tab. Go to EC2. Let's go to EC2. Okay, let's click on instances on the left. Okay, this was an instance that I worked with yesterday. I already shut it down, right? Yeah. All right, so just click on launch instances on the top right. All of you, at least most of you that have been joining me so far, are very familiar with all of these procedures. This is like, second nature for you guys now, right? T2 micro, yes. Configure instance details. How many? We want 1. Purchasing option. What else do we change here, guys? VPC, default VPC subnet, default subnet, no, 1A. Yeah, we want to make sure we choose 1A, right? And also we're doing that because so that the database and the web server are, you know, closer. Rather than being in two different ACs, we could be in two different cities. We don't want that, right? We want to put them in like hopefully the same data center, right? So that the link between them is short and, you know, it's just much faster. Auto assign IP, yeah, just leave that. What else do we change here, guys? Role, S3 and SSM. IAM role, S3 and SSM. Okay. Shutdown behavior, terminate, right? Because again, this is a project, we really want to terminate this if we choose to shut down. What else, guys? Nothing else. Next, add storage. 8 gig is fine. Next, add tags. Let's add a tag. Let's say name what? Node soccer. Let's call it the same thing as the database. Node soccer app. Okay. That would be too long, but let me just add it. Just there's no Node soccer app. Maybe just put WS web server. All right. Security group. Select existing, like we normally do. Web server. Okay, web server, and then choose review and launch. Okay, review and launch. Okay, now click on launch. Okay, make sure you have a key pair, but we really don't. We usually don't need our key pairs these days, right? We haven't used it in a long while because you guys learned about a more secure way to SSH into your instance, and that is using what service, guys? In the chat, real quick. Using what? Using what? I know you guys know it. Remember, we stopped opening port 22, right? Or using PuTTY or PuTTYGen or any of that. It's just session manager. Thank you, Mohammed Khan. All right, let's move on. Launch instances. Okay, launch instances. Go ahead and click on the instance so we can go into it and see that it's... What else can we do as we wait for our RDS? What else can we do? Let me refresh this and see if mine... Oh boy, it's still creating. Let me refresh the whole page. Refresh the whole page. Okay, my instance is running, but the status check is not 2 out of 2 yet. So let me go back to RDS, guys. Let me at least see. Let me click on the database and see if at least there's an endpoint now. Is there an endpoint at least? Yes, there's an endpoint. Okay, good. So now I want you guys to go inside your code. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just check something real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me open mine here. All right, guys, remember this is the code, right? You guys have downloaded it to your computer, right? Node MySQL folder. This is the folder that our developers gave us. This is the folder containing the new code that or the new application that our company has built for soccer players. Okay, we got a contract from National Football Association. what is the FIFA? We got a contract from FIFA to create an application that soccer players can input their information and their position. Okay, just assume that. So Node MySQL. Okay, let's open that. This is the folder. Don't ignore every other thing you see here. Okay, this is the folder that contains every work that the developer has done to write this application. So let's open that. Okay. Don't worry about this .vs code. It's just something that changes the theme of if you're gonna use VS Code to edit the code. I believe that's what this code right here is doing. It's giving me an orange theme outline in VS Code. So ignore this. This is really not part of the application. It's just for VS Code. So don't worry about that. The rest of the thing is, so the biggest thing we need to change here is this, right? So if you click, let me right click, open with code. That is VS Code. For those who don't know, usually you just see open with code. Actually, you can see the symbol here. So open with code. Open. And then let me show you guys what it looks like. Okay, let me show you guys what it looks like. So this is it, guys. Right, this is it. This is it. This is the app.js file that's in there. Can I do this? Let me see if I can do this real quick. Okay. All right. So this is the file. We just opened it. Now we need to change, like, what's her name? Sorry, Amina. I forgot. Sorry about that. You said we need to change the database. Amani. Right. So we're gonna change this information right here. Okay, we're gonna change this information right here. So you guys are gonna go grab the host of the database. Okay, let me see. Can I bring this to the left? Okay, good. All right. So grab the host of the database. Right. We want to grab this. Change that. Change this to that. Okay, and then username. If you guys remember correctly, I used admin, and then password, something that I used. I'm gonna change it to that. So do that and save this file, guys. Now, before you move on, just because I want us to spend less, I'm gonna just quickly give us a hint here. Okay, I'm gonna quickly give us a hint here. In our security group, we opened last time 3,000 to 4,000, right? 3,000 to 4,000. In this case, I want us to put here 5. Okay, 5. We can do 2,000 and open 2,000 as well, but 2,000 is not popular with Node.js application. Usually, you see 3,000, you see 5,000. Okay, so let's change this to 5,000. Okay, change this to 5,000. We can hopefully change to 3,000 as well, and it will work if it wouldn't conflict with anything else in this code, which I haven't really looked further deep into. But put it to 5,000, and then on our instance, we need to make sure that this is open, right? So you can communicate with Node servers wherever they are in the world. Okay, so we're gonna change that from 2,000 to 5,000, guys. Okay, and in our security group for our web server, we need to make sure that we open it up more. I know for the last project we did 3,000 to 4,000 because 3,000 was what we were opening Node 2 last time. In this case, we're gonna open it to 5,000, right, for Node. Okay, so so that means we wanna extend that 3,000 to 4,000 that you guys might have from last class. We wanna do that from 3,000 to 5,000. Okay, from 3,000 to 5,000. I don't want to do any troubleshooting here with you guys and put 3,000 and put 4,000 and it doesn't work, or I put 3,000 and it doesn't work. But let's just do 5,000. The most popular ones are 3,000 and 5,000. We can try 3,000 as well. You can try it after this class and see if it works. I believe it should work as long as you have it open. But I'll say play it safe and leave it at 5,000. And because he also actually, give me 1 second. I think the actual reason why I did that was this. Yeah, 5,000. Okay, this is exactly why. So 5,000 is what you're going to use. Okay, because if we want to test, it's going to listen on port 5,000 because that's what we put here. If we put 3, then we need to put 3 here as well. You need to put 3 here as well if you're going to test at the end. But again, guys, I'm just following directly what he did. I'm just going to use 5,000. Remember, this was 2,000 before, right? And he used 2,000 here because he was doing some testing before he ran the app in the browser. Okay, so that's why you guys might have 2,000. But just looking at the overall final solution, okay, at the end of the day, he later changed it to 5,000. Okay, but I know when you download the code, you don't see it in there as 5,000. But he had to change it for this to work. He must have changed this to 5,000 in the code before. So again, not to dwell too long on that, put this as 5,000 so we can test in the browser when we're done. Okay. And we're going to make sure we go and open the security group again. Don't forget that. Remind me, guys, if I forget to do that, because it's not going to work if we don't do that. So Control S that. Let me put this aside now. So again, guys, I know I like to repeat myself. Just do this 5,000 and then make sure you change the things here. And this database, please leave it here exactly what we have here. SOCKA. Okay, I know it wasn't spelled as so this is the database that this app is going to look for. It's going to look for this database And if it doesn't see the same exact word, it's not going to work. So use SOCKA. Don't say, oh no, that's a typo, I'm going to use SOCCER. No, this is the way he spelled it in the app. So this is what the app is going to look for in the database. So leave that database as SOCKA. Okay. The 3 things you need to change, the 4 things you need to change: 5,000, put the endpoint, put the username you created when you were creating the RDS endpoint, and then put the password, and that's it. All right, let me put that to the side here, and okay, and yeah, and that's that. Okay, let me just click back here to databases. Some of you might have sent me a chat. Okay, nothing so far. Okay, good. Are we good so far, guys? Give me the number 5. Give me the number 5. Pulse check. Give me number 5. Are we good so far? Are we good so far? As 2. Okay, come on. How many people are here? How many people are here? 17 people. Come on, guys. I should see the 5s flowing. Come on. There you go. There you go. Now we're talking. All right. So my database is available. My instance is available. S3. Let's open another tab now for S3. Okay, let's open another tab now for S3. Copy link. What am I doing? Open link in new tab. Open link in new tab. Let me go to S3. Okay, let me go to S3. Let's create a new bucket. Let us create a new bucket. Create new bucket. Please don't use my name. You guys already know why, right? Use something unique. Okay. I'm gonna say Node Soccer Code MK. Okay. I'm gonna say Node Soccer Code MK. Please don't use the same word, and you guys know why, right? Bucket name. Excuse me. Bucket names have to be unique globally. Okay. So scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Don't enable bucket versioning. No. What else? For security reasons, we encrypt, right, the code. Okay, so just choose enable. That's all. AWS will make sure that it's encrypted for us at rest. Advanced settings, we don't do anything here. We don't do anything here. Just go ahead and click on create bucket. Okay, thank God. Nobody picked the name. Okay, it worked. All right, so I'm going to open it now. And then I'm going to grab the code. I'm going to grab the code. Okay. Guys, open the folder. Remember, we had it open before. I'm just want to show you guys this. Open the folder. Everything in here now. Everything in here, drag it. Drag it in here. Into your bucket. Into the bucket that we've created to host the code. Okay? So don't just put the whole folder in there. Open the content. Copy all the content to this bucket. Now go ahead and click on upload. Okay, mine is uploading. Okay. I'm gonna click on close because mine has finished uploading. Okay, now I have all the code in there. I have all the code in there, and I've made the change. I've added the correct database. Okay, I've added the correct database. All right, guys. What I want us to do now is I want you all to open Mysql Workbench. Okay. I want us to open Mysql Workbench. Okay, this was from yesterday's test. Let me close this. Okay, I'm gonna delete this connection, and I'm gonna create it again. Okay, so it's all fresh and new. All right, so click on add. I want us to go inside of the database. Remember, think of this as the job of the database administrators, right? They're the ones who created the database. Perhaps they worked hand in hand with the developers to make sure that the database is available for the developers to use. Or in some companies, the developers is everything, right? He does everything. So in this case, let's assume we're the developer, the database guys, right? We want to go in now and create. We're that developer that does everything, right? We're gonna go in now and make sure that the tables that are needed for the application, the database and the table that the application needs to talk to are available. Okay, before we put that application, the application up live. Okay. All right. So let's get those connection strings again. Do I still have it? Yeah, I still have it. Okay. Yeah. So here, I still have mine in my clipboard. So paste again. Paste the application URL. Sorry, the URL for your database. Okay, the URL for your database. Okay, that's there. And then go back to my MySQL Workbench. What am I doing? That's not where I'm supposed to put that. Did someone correct me on that in the chat? No, you guys are. All right, paste it here. You're supposed to paste in the host name, guys. Here's just a connection name. This can be anything. Node Soccer App DB. All right, we can just say Node Soccer App DB. Okay. Remember this was admin for me, and then password. I need to put the password that I used. I need to put the password. Okay, and then let me test connection. No. I don't have to change the port to 5000, Mohammed Khan. MySQL always talks to, usually always has, you can talk to MySQL on this port. Okay, 5000 is for the node servers to talk to your web server. Yeah, I will in the security group, right? Yeah, because that is the web server, not the database server. The database server, remember, AWS is managing the database for us, RDS, right? So yeah, so it looks like my, I'm testing the connection and it's not working. Something might be wrong with my password. Something might be wrong with my password. Oh, no. I see what it is, guys. I see what it is. I need to update my IPs. Let me go back to, so I'm in the RDS, right? Let me go back to fail to connect. Yes, let me go back to, let's go to security groups, guys. And you can see security here. Okay, you can see security here. Click on this to take us to the security group that we said that this database should use. Click on this to go to the, now inbound rules, guys, inbound rules. Edit inbound rules. I'm opening this to the web server security group, but I also need to, if I'm going to be testing with MySQL Workbench, right, from my own computer, that means I need to open access to my own computer to talk to the database as well, right? Otherwise, only web servers can talk to the database. But now I want to test, right, from outside, from an IP from outside that I have, my own IP at my own house. So I need to allow that. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I hope that makes sense. We've talked about this before, but I hope it starts to even make more sense to you guys. Now MySQL Workbench is on my computer, and I want to use that to talk to the database. So I need to make sure that I'm telling the database security group to say, hey, security officer, allow me to get in, okay? That might be a little corny, but yeah. So I could have just say here, open MySQL port 3306, but usually I like to open all traffic, but we can do MySQL just to, in reality, you should open only the ports you need. You shouldn't just open everything, okay? So let's do that and do my IP, okay? I have a new IP today. Don't worry, I'm on VPN, guys. This IP changes, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and click on save. And watch, if I test now, it should work. Do you see that? Okay, so I opened the door for my computer to be able to talk to the database. Okay, and of course it's because we want to test and we know that we're trusting our own IP and not anyone else around the world. So click on OK. And then now click on OK to take you inside. We have to double click the connection actually. Double click the connection to take you inside after you click OK. If you have any questions, guys, just put it in the chat. It's okay. I'm gonna do a pulse check after we paste the code here. So let me open my code out. So guys, please open the commands that we need for today. Okay, and the command session should be faster later on. Okay, so what we want to do here is let's grab this code, and I fixed some. He has it also in his code, but I already fixed some things for you guys. I already fixed up some things for you. there's some things that like this int, MySQL doesn't expect this 11 here anymore. Okay, I had to do some Stack Overflow to figure that, because I was getting some warnings in in MySQL Workbench. So I read up about it, and it says, after you declare an int, for the database guys here, they probably might be aware of this, or some might not be aware based on the version you are using. You don't need to tell it 11 here, or if you do this, it'll give you a warning that this is not expected. Just say int and move on. Okay. So here, this code I've fixed it so it works and you don't get any error messages. So let's go now. Let's go back. This is MySQL Workbench and this is my CLI. Okay, yeah. Now let's grab the code. Okay. Copy. It'll create the database soccer. We're showing databases. We're telling this we want to use this soccer database. We want to show the tables. When we show tables, there will be no tables, and then it'll go ahead and create the table players if it doesn't exist. This is all this is doing. And don't worry, your database guys know all of this. And remember the 4-hour MySQL video that I share with you guys in my article. For those of you that are following my article, in order to become a cloud engineer. I'm hoping after you watch that MySQL 4-hour free YouTube video as well, that has tons of views now, more of these SQL things will make sense. But again, this is already written for us by the database engineers. We paste, okay? We paste, and then now to run everything, let's highlight everything and choose this one because we want to run all the commands. This allows you to run multiple commands at the same time. So click on that. Hopefully there's no errors. Great, it all worked. And as you can see, the last command here is select all from the table players. Okay, and it has already done that as well. And it's showing us that, hey, ID has nothing, first name has nothing, last name has nothing, is null. Null means no, there's no data available here. So yeah, so moving on now, guys. We know that our database is fine now. The table is there. The database has been created. The soccer database has been created. Great. Let's minimize that now. Everything else here from now on should be much faster, guys. Okay, so who can tell me in the chat, how are we gonna remote into the instance now? How are we gonna remote into the instance? I want to get inside the instance. What am I gonna do, guys? You guys know this real quick. You guys said it before. I just wanted session manager. Very good. So click on connect. Now click on connect. Right? Let's connect to the instance and do all of the work that we need to do to get the app up and running. Okay, so I'm gonna put this to the side now, to the left, and then yeah, this is already on the right. All right, I just split my screen so it's much easier for you guys to follow. Let me bring my video to the bottom side here. So here's what I said. Let's first add the database we need. Okay, we've already done this. Okay, consider that we've done this. Pulse check. Who is with me so far? Who is with me so far? Give me number 5. Give me number 7. Number 7. Okay, more. How many people are on here? 16. Okay, more. Very good. All right. Before we do this, don't forget, guys, the security group for the instance, right? We need to make sure that we open the right port, right? So let's go back again. I'm just going back to the EC2 on the left here. Security group, security. Go to the security tab. You guys might need to move this thing up. You see this? You might need to move this up to see this. Security group. Now let's go to the security group that this instance is using. Let's edit the inbound rules. Okay, edit inbound. Let me make this bigger so it's not looking it's not looking too cramped. All right, here. So mine has already been changed because of the test that I did yesterday. Okay, so please, you guys might have 4,000 here. Today we're using 5,000. Okay, you guys might have had 3,000 to 4,000 because of the last project. Now please, guys, open this, and that's that. Okay, and this all traffic that I'm allowing just for testing on my own machine, I'm gonna choose my IP. Okay, choose my IP so it refreshes to whatever IP yours might have changed to because you restarted your router sometime last week or something. So all traffic, allow that to your own IP. Okay, allow all traffic to your own IP. And yeah, and I'm doing this so I can test directly on the web server. Okay, go ahead and click on save rules. Okay, go ahead and click on save rules. Okay, yeah, and remember when you open this 3000 and 5000, this is for IPv4, this is for IPv6. Make sure it's open to the world, right? Make sure these are open to the world. Node ports 3000 or 5000, whichever one the application is referring to, it needs to be open to the world, guys. There's no two ways around it. It needs to be open to the world. Okay, but at the end of the day, this will be more secure when we put it in front of our load balancer, so that only our load balancer can make this request to this thing. So that's why it's always important that you put them behind the load balancer, so that at least this is open to the load balancer and people can talk to the load balancer, but not directly to the web server. But in this case, because I'm the developer here, I'm just opening this up to my IP so I can do whatever testing on whatever port I need, right, on this server. Okay, that's why I'm doing all traffic to my IP and not the entire world. Okay, and if you're worried about this one right here, remember when you put it in the load balancer, if this security group is being trusted by only the load balancer, then you don't have to worry too much about opening this to the entire world, because the entire world to this server will mean what? The load balancer in front of it, right? The entire world will hit the load balancer, and load balancer is always open to the world, right? And AWS manages the load balancer, not us. Okay, unless we're the one managing the load balancer, then we'll worry. But remember, when we create load balancers, we're using an AWS managed load balancer service. So at that point, that's not our problem. That's AWS's problem, right? But we know that it's more secure for us when we put a load balancer there. And then I'm saying this because I don't want you to worry about this for the security conscious person in here. Okay, at the end of the day, this would only be what? Be referring to what? This coming from the load balancer. As long as you have your security groups set the way we've done it so far in this class, you should be fine. Okay, so let me go ahead and click on save rules. Okay, that's that. Go back to my session manager, bring this to the left, bring my code to the right. Let's move on. So let me teach you guys a small trick here. I want you guys just to go a little faster. Copy from nginx-v here. Copy from nginx-v all the way to the top. Okay? And paste. We can run all those at the same time. Just letting you know. Okay, from what I've seen. You might want to copy more, but at some point it will stop you because it needs an input. Okay? So I see that from this, doing this up to this point, at least so far, it just makes things faster. Okay? So paste all of that. And it'll start running the codes one by one. And if it gets to a place where it really needs my input, it will stop. If you have any questions, unmute and ask. Okay, I'm gonna try to make that more, something that I'll start to do more. If you have any questions as we're doing the work, at least at moments where we're waiting for something, you can unmute and quickly ask a question. If you're having any doubts about anything or any questions, if you have any question about anything. Okay, so it stopped here for me, as you guys can see, and it gave me this command back that it wasn't gonna run this. So I'm just gonna click enter. Okay, it doesn't matter. So it stopped here. Now if I click enter, nginx-v, it's already on the screen for me. If I enter, this just means it installed, okay, nginx for me, so that's fine. So the next command that I have here is sudo su. Okay, let me clear my screen so we just have a clear screen to work with. I'm gonna type clear in the terminal here on the bottom left, as you guys can see here, and then just click enter. Okay, so we have a clean screen to work with. Now let's continue with the code. Sudo su, copy that, paste it, sudo su, enter. Okay, and now we have cd /, okay, cd to root, enter. Okay, and I said do ls after cd /, do ls, enter. Okay, now let's create the folder for this app. Instead of, let's just say test app. I was gonna say, let's say Node Soccer app, but it's fine. So Control C that, paste, make directory, Do you guys want us to do something really specific to the app, right? In real life, you want to put something that's specific, right? So let's just put Node Soccer app. Instead of saying test app, let's just be a little more closer to what we know about the app. So when we see this, we know that this is the app for our soccer app. So make directory instead of nodes. I'm gonna change this later on in the app. Okay. So wherever we see test now, we're gonna say Node Soccer app. Okay. We're gonna say Node Soccer app. Wherever we see test now, we're gonna say Node Soccer app. Okay. All right. So the next command was to cd into that folder. Okay. Cd. First, let me create the folder first. Make directory Node Soccer app. Enter. Okay, it's created. Now let's paste the next command, which is to cd into that folder, meaning open the folder, right? So let me cd Node Soccer app. Enter. Okay. Now let's copy this. Control C that. Let's copy the code now from S3. AWS S3 copy. Copy the code. Remember the bucket, we give the bucket, let me see. My bucket name is not Node Soccer app. I have to go back to S3 and make sure. What did I give the name of my bucket? Oh, there it is. Node Soccer code MK. Okay. So I need to change this, guys, before I paste it. So change this to the bucket name where the code resides on S3. Paste that. Okay. So let me copy the code again. Copy the code again. Control C. Erase this out. So this is gonna, let's paste this now. So copy from this bucket to this dot means this folder that we're currently in. All right, now let's hit enter on that. Let's hit enter on that. Okay, looks like it successfully worked. Now let's do ls to see. Let's do ls, enter. Okay, good. All of those files, if you look at my folder, all of those files are in there now. All of these files are now on our machine, our server, in this folder. All right, moving on. Now we want to install all of the dependencies, all of the things that will make this application run, because it's Node. Okay, copy that code, paste it in there, hit enter. That's gonna do its thing. It's done. That was very fast. Copy the next line. Control C. Paste. Enter. Okay, now nvm install node. Control C. Paste. Enter. Okay. Is it done? Is it done? Yes, it's done. Now let's, again, this code just test to make sure that it was installed perfectly. Enter. Yes, running NodeJS version 15.14.0. Okay. And I don't know why I said do ls here, but yeah, it doesn't hurt. Maybe I just like to check to make sure I'm, everything. So we're in here, and then the next thing we want to do here is install these. Okay. And some of these commands also, of course, I got from the instructions that he gave. Okay. Mixing it with the other commands that I had before and making sure I put something together that will, make everything work. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, this is the next command, guys. This is the next command. We're installing some dependencies: body parser, cores, MySQL, Express. Copy those, paste, enter. Now, while we're still in let me change that. Now, I said here, while we're still in the folder, and we know we just named it to Node Soccer app just for consistency, and so we know exactly the application we're working with. So while we're still in Node Soccer app folder, which we're still in, as you can see here, we're still in the Node Soccer app folder. rm-rf, remove this. I've talked about this before many times, right? Remember to remove this and create it again, right? So let's copy that code rm-rf to remove this file that came with the code. So enter. Okay, now it's removed. Do ls to see that it's no longer there. Let's do ls to make sure that this package-log.json is no longer there. So let's do ls. Enter. Is it there? No, only package.json. Okay, only package.json, and this is gone because we removed it. We removed this. Okay. What else, guys? What else? And then we said do npm install, right? And this is to bring that folder back, right? To build it new for this application. Okay. So paste. So enter npm install, enter. Okay. One load severity vulnerability. Again, I'm not gonna do this now. Okay. Now let's do ls. Let's do ls, and we see that it is back. Package-lock.json is back. Okay. All right. So now we've done this. Now we just did this. ls, it's there. Make sure you, now the next thing I say here is make sure you're still in the NodeSucker app folder here, not test app anymore, right? Make sure you're still in the NodeSucker app folder, then do the following: npm install pm2. You guys remember our pm2, right? And what it does for us, right? The guy, I want to clarify here so you guys are, as we're also still learning, as we're, seeing the solution here. He uses another, instead of using pm2, he uses another tool called NodeMon, NodeMon. Okay. For me, in real life, I wouldn't use NodeMon. Okay. I would use pm2 because pm2 will give me back my terminal so I can continue working. pm2 will manage running the app for me in the background. Okay. It won't give me a terminal that just has connected, right? And then it won't give me like a prompt to do whatever thing else I want to do. Okay. And I hope you guys, that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. pm2 is the way to go. Let's just leave it as that, right? pm2 is the way to go because if we run an application, it will give us our terminal back to continue to doing whatever else we want to do. Okay. So that's why I'm leaving mine as pm2 and not using what he used. He used NodeMon. I'm not using that. So let me copy this. Let me copy this command. Let me paste. Okay, let me hit enter. I copied. Don't copy the parentheses, guys. Don't copy the parentheses, please. So just copy that. The parentheses are usually me just describing what that code does. Okay, so delete everything we have here, and then just put npm install pm2 blah blah blah, whatever that is. Okay, and then hit enter. Okay, doing this thing. All right. We're here now. But of course, we're gonna wait for it to finish work. Okay, so found 0 vulnerabilities. We like to see that. Okay. Now there's one quick edit you need to make to the app.js file before we run the app using pm2. What is that? Go to the line. Oh, we did this. You guys remember this now, right? We did this already, so we're fine. We're fine. Okay, we're gonna skip this. We did this. What else, guys? Now let's start app.js. Okay, now let's start the app.js. To get this app running, right, this is the file we need to start. This is the file we need pm2 to start for us to get our app visible to the world. Okay, so use this command now. Use this command. Copy that, paste. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping I haven't missed anything and this is just gonna work easily, guys. Are you guys rooting for me? Let's hit enter. Okay, it says online, but usually I always want to do this to make sure that it didn't terminate for some error, right? For some error reason. Do pm2 list. Let's do pm2 list. Errored. We need to troubleshoot, guys. Why is there an error? I'm thinking, guys. Trust me, I'm thinking. Why is there an error? Anything else that needed to be changed? Anything else that needed to be changed? Are you guys with me? Did anyone else get an error? Unmute if you got an error. Who's with me so far? Astu, Lucky, Antoine, where are you guys? Mohammed Khan, where are you guys? Please unmute and say something.
I got error.
You got error too when you do pm2 list?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got error too.
I think we need to restart it again.
Yeah.
Because when you went in and added the security group, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to restart it again. The Node.js.
All right. All right, let me do PM2 list again and see if it didn't terminate for a okay. It looked like restarting it just fixed it. I mean, I changed the security group way back earlier, but it looks like it's not erroring out again, guys. Let's do PM2 list again. Again, run this command again for the second time. Just run it again. If you got error as I did, run it again, and let's do PM2 list again. I'm doing it for the third time now. It errored out. It errored out. All right, let's get to troubleshooting mode. Okay, and this is one of the things why I like these sessions, right? Let's see if we can get it to work. Trust me, this erroring out wasn't planned. Okay, now again, I know we're gonna go a little over 12 o'clock. This is real life, guys. This is real life. Things do just work out easily like that. Let's find out what the error is. Let's find out what it is. Can it talk to the database? Can it talk to the database? Yes, it should be able to talk to the database because we're allowing the security group. I'm just saying my troubleshooting attempt here. It's allowing the database to talk to it. Is it allowing us on the web server or us from the server itself? Ourselves from the server itself. Guys, let's make this one change and see. Let's make this one change and see. Okay, go to security groups. This is one thing I'm just thinking about now. Go to security groups. Is this a database security group that we're in? Yeah, we're in the database security group. Okay, choose the database security group. Let me expand this. Expand this. Choose DB security group. Choose DB security group. Edit inbound rules, guys. Edit inbound rules. I want you guys to change this that I opened for just MySQL Aurora. I want you guys to change this to all traffic. Okay, change this to all traffic. Okay, for RIP on this database, on the database security group, let's allow all traffic. Okay, my assumption here is from the application, from the node application, it's using some other ports. It needs some other ports to be able to communicate to the database. But let's see. Okay, we're all learning. Okay, let's see. Save the rules. Save it. Okay, all traffic on database to from us, which the node app is so let me go back here now. Where is the application? Let's go back here. Let's run the, if you press the up command. Okay, guys, if you press the up command, it'll show you the application, the code you've run before. Okay, so let me start it again. Okay, let me start it again. Okay, give it a few seconds and let's see if it will not error out. Okay, give it a few seconds and see if it will not error out. Press up again to do PM2 list. Okay, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Today's interesting. I just wanted to test and see that it wasn't looking for another port. But I'm gonna change this back. Go back to the security group, change this back. We've eliminated this. This is not the reason. Okay, this is not the reason. MySQL Aurora. Click on save. Okay, let's just put it back to the port that we know that MySQL always looks for. All right, next troubleshooting step. Let me make sure I didn't miss a step here too. Okay. Let me check my web server security group again. Let me check my web server security group. It's my IP. Web server security group. 3,000 to 5,000. Save rules. There's nothing to change. Cancel. If you have any ideas, just open the chat. Again, I did this yesterday. It all worked fine, but we've tried our best to figure out the answer together, okay? If you have any ideas, if anything comes to your mind, let me know. As I'm thinking, we're thinking, you're thinking as well. We're working together, okay? And no idea is stupid, okay? No idea is silly or stupid.
npm install, reinstall it, maybe.
Great idea. I can do that. The npm install, this one. Wait, I think I'm
Start back from the package all the way on the top.
Where exactly are you talking about?
Where you have the RM package, npm install, maybe restarting that.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try that. npm install again, right? Let's run that command again. Okay. ls. Okay. We can also do this again. Let's do rm-rf again, and then run it again after putting pm2, right? Paste. Let's remove that. ls. Enter. Let's run it again. Paste. Enter. Okay, you notice. Okay, and just give me a few seconds here, guys. I want to make sure I did not miss one of the other commands that so npm install. Okay, that. Okay. All right, let me see. Maybe there was one thing that he also did that I might have done in my test, but I did not put it on this file right here. This is it. I knew something was missing, guys. I knew something was missing. I'm 99% sure that this is the error. I forgot to put this in my notes. Although I ran this in my test, as to, do you remember, did we run? No, it's not. I don't even need to ask. It's not here. Is it here? Am I missing something here, guys? Is this code here in this file that I have for you guys? Yes or no? As to, someone help me out. Is it in there? I'm looking. I just want to make sure I don't miss it.
I don't see it.
You don't see it, right? Mohammed Khan also said no. Okay. Lucky said no as well. Okay, good. We have skipped something, guys. And great thing we caught it together. Awesome. And I think we got a solution. So doing npm install again, and that it wasn't the but great suggestion as to great suggestion. So I'm just not gonna add doing npm install again. I think this would be the solution, but let's try. Let's go back. Let's run this. I'm trying to see where I'm gonna fit it in here. This is gonna be before we do npm. So npm start npm. So I'm just gonna put it right here before I say let's start the Node.js app. Now let's start the app. I don't want to confuse people and think for them to think that's a command. Now let's start the app. Okay, I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, guys. Hope that makes sense. So we're gonna leave it here. We're gonna leave it here. So let's assume that. Let's rewind back and run this now. Okay. Some of this has already been installed before, but it doesn't matter if it's not gonna. It doesn't matter. But let's go back. Let's go back to the terminal. Okay. Let me paste the command now. Paste. npm install express body parser, enter. Okay. All right, npm install that change one package and audited 80 packages. Okay. Now let's do ls. Okay, package dash lock is there. We know that's fine. And then let's do this again. Let's do pm2 list first to see that nothing is running, or maybe pm2 might have started it itself already. Okay, we're gonna have to run it again. All right, so let's do this, guys. Fingers crossed. Control C, paste, enter. All right, fingers crossed. Let's do pm2 again. Oh, what is going on? Wow. Let me do pm2 delete all. pm2 delete all. Start over again. Okay. pm2 list. Is it that it cannot talk to the database or what? Let me try to run this command here. It can. Okay. Database is being talked to fine, but from our IP, let me do something. Let's test what he used to run it and see what error, if this reports an error. I know pm2 will report what the error is as well, but I don't know the commands to show the error. But let's see what this spits out in the terminal. Let's try to use nodemon to test, guys, and see. So Control C, this, npm install nodemon-g, paste, enter. Okay, now how was it ran? Working with the server, 5,000. We already changed that to 5,000. We already changed that to 5,000. So this is how we run it. Nodemon app.js. So let's copy that and let's paste it. Okay, connected to database. Okay, I don't see any errors. Let's go and try to view it in our browser. And if you test it in our browser, it will work because our the server is allowing traffic from anywhere in the world, right? We didn't put it behind the load balancer yet. We're allowing all traffic from our IP. Okay, so let's go into our browser here from our computer that is trusted by the web server. Let me just open a new incognito window. Let me open a new incognito window. So nodemon is running the app without any errors, but pm2 is showing errors. Let me see, did I open this? Okay, so we're supposed to do localhost. Give me 1 second here. Let me just copy the. At the end of the day, we go to localhost. We go to localhost here, 5,000. Control C that. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Localhost 5000. Okay. Before I get the answer to why this is wrong, I just want to mention, guys, just this is probably part of the reason, but just make sure that well, I already have it in the notes. I'll upload this to the folder, to the Google Drive, but I just want to make sure that just keep this in your mind as part of the solution so far. Of course, we haven't gotten it to work yet. We can see here, right, that NodeMon says it's connected to the database, but we cannot test, right? And maybe PM2 is doing that test, and that's why it's saying online or not online. Okay, so we want to go now and find out why is it that we cannot also see it here. Maybe this is why also NodeMon is showing that, hey, this is not online. Okay, it's one thing to be able to run the app, right? The app is being run, it's talking on port 5000. We can see that because NodeMon shows you that in the console, right? But now I believe so far it might have something to do with the security group or with something in the app.js file. Please bear with me for a couple of more minutes. I really want you guys to see why this may have gone wrong. Although I did it yesterday and everything worked fine. Okay, so this is real life troubleshooting here, and trust me, troubleshooting here in real life sometimes can take days. Okay, but hopefully this will not take days. Okay, max at 12:30 I want to end the session, but let's keep troubleshooting and see. Okay, fold up the sleeves, guys. Again, as ideas come to your head, let me know. But here we go. We just tested now, and we can see here that it doesn't run on local port 5000, right? Let's go inside the code. I'm gonna Control C this, guys. Okay, I'm gonna Control C this. Just do PM2 list again. Let me start it again using PM2. Enter. Okay. PM2 list. Enter. PM2 list. Enter. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Let me do PM2 list again. Online. Okay. It's working now with PM2. It's working now with PM2. Lucky. It's working now. Okay. Now I don't want to add this to the code, like adding NodeMon to the code, because I really feel it's not, and I'm gonna do this later on and make sure that I don't have to add NodeMon here. You know what we ran here in node install NodeMon, and before we did that, NodeMon-G, where was it? Yeah, I'm not gonna add this to my code yet because I feel this doesn't have anything to do with it working. It just needed some time. Maybe it had to do some refreshing, some restarting. I'm talking about PM2 here. Now we can see that it's running. Right? Let me do PM2 list again just to make sure. It's online, guys. It's working. Now let's do a test again. I want where is it? So localhost on port 5000. Why is this now not responding, or will it respond now? It's open to the world. The app is not showing up. The app is not showing up. The app is supposed to show up. It's supposed to show up. You know what? Let me get out of VPN. Let me get out of VPN. Exactly, Adekunle. Why is it not running the browser? I know you guys remember this troubleshooting step from previous sessions, right? Why is the VPN the culprit sometimes? Let me turn it off. Let me turn my VPN off. Let me turn my VPN off. Okay, my VPN is off. My VPN is off. Fingers crossed, guys. Let's see. Could it have been the VPN again this time? Right. Could it have been the VPN again this time? I'm going to close. Let me just copy that. I'm going to close. Make sure there's no caches or anything like that. What is this? QR code generator. Let me just move this to the, let me close this. I don't need this. Close tabs. All right, let me open a new tab again. Now I'm not using VPN. I'm not using VPN. Local. The site might be temporarily to be if your computer network is protected by a firewall or proxy. Make sure. Okay, we did that. Our VPN example today is not working. We have opened port 5000. Localhost refused to connect. Localhost refused to connect. Localhost refused to connect. Try to refresh your IP in the security group. Yeah, that's exactly where I was gonna go to. All of that sounds like it has to do with something with the security group. This is the web server right here. Edit the inbound rules. I'm gonna refresh it so you guys don't see my real public IP, okay? I'm gonna do it on the side. And that's a very brilliant suggestion. Who's that? Antoine. Brilliant suggestion. Because now it's expecting a new IP, right? Because now I'm no longer on the VPN, and yes, my IP did change, right? My IP did change. Let me save that. Everybody, go to your security group, okay? I'm gonna remove what my IP that I have. Let me bring it back. Okay? And now Antoine's suggestion, right, which is very, very valid. If I'm allowing this all traffic, on the web server, of course, to test anything from my own IP, and now that I'm off of VPN, remember the VPN gave an IP, right, that my computer is using temporarily, right? Now that has changed because I turned off VPN. Then I need to tell the security group that, right, that hey, I'm no longer using that IP. I'm using my IP that I'm getting from my home router. Okay, so all traffic. Okay, guys, do this in your web server security group. Okay, remember I'm in my web server security group, guys. Web server security group. All traffic again. Again, for testing purposes, I'm going to choose my IP, but I'm going to choose it outside of the screen here, okay? So you guys choose my IP, all traffic, and let's see if that works, okay? All traffic, my IP. Save. Okay, that's saved. Okay, instances. Let me just go back to my EC2 console page. Now let me go back and test. Let me close this. New private window. Still the same thing. My IP did not change. I'm getting the same error. Wow. What is going on today? We know the app is running fine. Let's do PM2 list again. The app is online. Why is it not showing on port 5000? Guys, let's go into the app.js folder. Do ls, enter. Okay, do ls. Now let's look for the file. It's called app.js. Okay, it's called app.js. Okay, I'm gonna go inside and make sure the port is still 5000. We did change that before we uploaded. Let me do nano, okay, app.js. Oh boy. It's okay. I'll stop using that database password from now on. But it's okay. So let's see here. Port is 5000. If you open the file, yeah, port is 5000. So what else could be causing the error from me testing and seeing the app? Okay. You all still have it as 5,000 as well, right? You all still have it as 5,000 as well. Is that correct? Okay. Lucky also said yes. If you have to drop, that's fine. I want to try and figure this out. There's 17 people on the chat. 5,000 is correct. 5,000 is correct. Let me close that. Let me close out of it.
Hello, Mocha.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, I think the problem is on the IP. The security group need to take some time before refreshing your IP address. I had some problem. I had the same problem a few weeks later. So after some times, I think it might take up to 10 or more minutes. But after some time, when the security group refresh your IP, you check your IP address that you're using. It's not actually now. It's not the same IP address that is in the security group. So after that, the IP address and in the security group will be the same IP address that is actually within your computer. It will work, I think so. I had this problem. That's how I finally solved it.
Right. Usually, yeah. Great suggestion. I think what you're talking about is we call it eventual consistency. Okay, and it's okay, guys. My IP is showing. I can reset it in my router. I know it's showing, but now I think I don't wanna keep moving my screen back and forth. So let me do this again. This is the security. This is the instance. This is the security group. Where's the web server? This is it. We're in the security group of the web server. So let's edit inbound again. HTTP all traffic to us anywhere. Let me just do anywhere real quick and see. Save. Let me do anywhere real quick and see. It may not be an IP issue. Same thing, unable to connect. Edit inbound, all traffic, my IP, save rules. Security group, database. Where's the database security group? I don't have a load balancer running, do I? I haven't deleted my load balancer, but it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do because you guys are also getting the same error message. It has nothing to do with this. Target group, actions, delete. Yes, delete. I was waiting for this to. So instances again. Let me grab the DNS. Security group is align my IP details. Grab the DNS. Okay. Come on. Did you guys see that? Guys, this is resolved. Are you guys watching? But I'm going to try to use the IP again. I am going to try to use the IP again. Okay? It's fixed, guys. I'm doing this on port 5000. Was I copying the code? No. Let me go back here. Come on, guys. No one could tell me that I was testing it wrong. Good thing you guys are here, guys. Oh my god. All right, I'll tell you what's wrong. For those of you that are watching, for those of you that are 17 people, okay, I'll tell you what's wrong. And before I do that, this is so, I don't want to say silly, but it's okay. It happens. I'm not going to say the answer. I want someone from the audience unmute and tell me the silly thing I've been doing. I don't want to say it's silly a good word. Tell me what I've been doing wrong. Unmute and tell me I figured it out as well. This is what you've been doing wrong. Unmute, guys. Unmute. Whoever gets this correct, let me see. You get 10 points. A virtual 10 points. Tell me. I'm gonna start mentioning names. Astu, Antoine, Lucky. Who else? Who else is here? Amani. Who else is here? Lucky. Adekunle. I want to hear from everyone here that has a hint of what I've been testing wrong so far. This guys right here should give you guys a hint. Let me go back. Let me stop. No. Yeah. Come on. Astu, say anything. Amani, open and say anything that's coming to your mind. Tell me. Come on. It's right in front of you. Who's this?
It's Mohammed.
Muhammad Khan. Tell me. Yeah.
So you directly accessed the DNS instead of using this local host IP?
Instead of using this, yes, I was using this local. Okay, let's copy it again.
No. When you accessed the DNS directly, then the page loaded. But when you were typing this local host
yes
IP, it wasn't loading.
Yes, that's a fact. It wasn't loading. Why wasn't it loading when I was testing with this? But it worked when I used the DNS of the EC2 instead of the. I'm gonna give you the answer. Come on, someone knows this. Mohammed, nice try. That makes a lot of sense. And that's the mistake we've been doing. But I want to hear before I end this. I know it's 12:31 now. The video has been recording now for 131 minutes, guys. Quickly. Tell me, guys. Come on. Astu, say anything. Amani, say anything.
Do we need to remove comment line somewhere?
No. Okay, Okay, great try. I'm gonna tell you guys the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is it to do with HTTPS? You don't have that open?
Nice try. No. Guys,
localhost is not defined.
Thank you. Localhost is this guy's computer. Localhost is his machine that he's using as a web server. Okay? Whatever machine he was using, he's not using EC2. Our web server is EC2. So instead of using localhost to test, we needed to use what? From our browser. Localhost is not our own machine. Localhost is the EC2 instance. Okay? So instead of using localhost here to test in our own browser, in our home, as we're building this remote on our localhost in our case, guys, is the EC2 instance. So to test in our own browser, we need to refer to the IP address of the EC2. Not giving, because when we say localhost, and I'm happy this happened. If I'm saying localhost here, this web browser here in my house, in my own computer, is saying that my computer has the application. No, my computer does not have the application. Who has the application, guys? Where is the code loaded? On the what?
On the EC2.
Thank you. Does it make sense to you guys now?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Now let's put.
Just playing around on the guy's computer.
Right.
Because in there it's on the EC2.
Right.
Yes. The local host should be our own local host.
Exactly. The local host. Now let's go grab the EC2 IP. Now look at this. If our EC2, we're only connecting to it using a terminal. If this EC2 instance, if this right here had a browser inside of it, localhost 5000 will work. Okay, but it's a terminal. You can use curl to do localhost. So let me show you an example. If I do curl localhost, let's assume this is, if you don't have a browser, a GUI browser like we have on our machines, you want to test. Let me paste here. Let me show you guys what I mean. This right here, if you test it directly on the machine that has the application, this should work. This should work. It's displaying it to you guys, but if you use a graphical user interface, a browser, all of this is HTML. Look, it's reporting the HTML, the front end that it needs to show us. So that means it works, guys. So localhost on the machine itself, it works. Localhost on the machine itself, the EC2 itself, it will work. But if you're coming from outside the machine, you have to refer to the IP that is hosting the application. Look at how I'm excited to. I'm really happy that we made this mistake. Did you guys learn anything from this? Did any of this make sense? Give me the number 9. Give me number 9. If any of this makes sense to you, like, wow. I'm glad. Okay, very good. So now, to test in our own browser, let's test again. You will see that it'll work. You will see that it'll work. Let's go and refer to the IP of this machine. IP, copy. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Change localhost. This is not localhost. This is my machine. Look. Done. It works. Let's add a player. Let's click on add a player on the right. Click on add a player on the right. First name, Mukhtar. Last name, Kabir. Oh my God. This is like one of my best sessions so far. Let me just do this. Okay, give a username. What number? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure there's any soccer player that has that number, but yeah. Position. I'm an attacking midfielder. Okay. Browse an image. Let me use one of the images I use for my videos. Let me use this one. Okay. We can upload an image. Click on add player. Look, it's inside. It works, guys. The player that I entered now is in. Let's go check the database. Let's run this command again. Run. Remember the I, the one with the I, run. Let's see, is it in there? Come on, where's my, show me my output. I don't know how to bring, okay, it's still loading something here. Unable to connect on local host. I must have changed something on my database security group. Let me go back to my database security group. Database security group. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? EC2 RDS. Where's my RDS? Let me just go back to RDS here. No. I need my security group. Database security group. Did I change anything here? Yeah, edit inbound rules. Yeah. This needs to change. My IP. Okay, database security group, guys. Just change it back to my IP so it, Mysql Workbench also knows that. Save. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Go back to here. Run it again. Run it again. Run it again. And there you go. Okay. Mukhtar Kabir, attacking midfielder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. M Kabir. The image that I uploaded. Everything is now in the database. We need to have more sessions like this. I know, right? All right. Great job, guys. Okay. If you have to leave, that's fine. Or if you guys want me to leave this to you, do you guys want me to quickly do the load balancer? I think that's very easy and you all can do it. I can end the video now, but if I get a lot of votes to put it behind the load balancer, I'll wait and do that. What do you guys think? Give me the number 5, yes, the number and no, and it. Load balancer is easy for us to do from here on. Oh, 5, you guys want me to do it? Okay, I'll do it. Don't worry. If you need to leave, that's fine. You can watch the video later. All right, let's go to EC2. EC2 dashboard, okay. Let's add it. Let's put the server behind the load balancer, okay. It's good practice. All right, load balance, but it will not be. I think all of the questions you guys need to ask, you already asked within the video. Once I do this, we're gonna end the call, okay. But it's been a great session, guys. It's been a really great session. My best so far. Okay. Before I start talking about what I'm doing, go to load balancers. Let me first delete the target group I have from before. Delete target group. Yes, delete. Okay, so load balancer, click on load balancer, create load balancer, application load balancer is what we want to create. Okay, let's call it node soccer LB. Okay, internet facing, yes. Choose all the availability zones, so in case in the future we put any EC2 instances in any of these availability zones, the load balancer can route traffic to it. Okay, although we're only using one A in this case, but you guys get the gist. Or I click on configure security groups. Okay, this is fine. We're not using HTTPS for now. We want to choose our load balancer security group. There it is. Load balancer security group. Click on next, configure routing. Target group, we all know we need to do this as well. Node sucker TG. Okay, it'll be an instance, yes. A path for it to test, yes, test the home page. Just leave that as that. And then click on register targets. Let's choose the instance. Add to registered. Next review. And then create. And that's it. And then click on the node and then click on it right there to take us inside. And now we can see it is provisioning. Let's wait for it. 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 Okay, waiting. Okay, let's just do this before this finishes and then before we test finally. Because now I can give you guys this. Okay, from my own side. Because this is the load balancer DNS. I can give you guys this address at the end and all of you can test. And you would see that you should be able to see the application, right? But you'd be viewing it as if it's on my own machine, right? Like it's a public server now, right? Your real intention, right, was to do it, run it on a server, on an EC2 server, put it behind the load balancer, and then that load balancer becomes what you'd use, maybe in Route 53, right, to customize and give you a custom URL, or in this case where we're just testing the load balancer for anyone in the world to test and see that they can reach the application before we customize the DNS, of course, right, if it's a real life scenario. So any question, unmute now and ask your question. How many people are left on this call? 15. 15 people so far on this call. Any questions from the from all of the fun troubleshooting? It was fun, right? I'm glad that happened again, because I can, that's a learning moment right there, and in real life when you're struggling with things, you're trying, what could be wrong, once you find that answer out, this is one of the reasons why I love this profession, right? Troubleshooting and ending up coming to find out the answer, not only find out the answer, but why, why I was, what you were doing wrong. It just makes, it more fun to do. It's like this profession is like a puzzle for me, right? Some of you might like different types of puzzle games like Sudoku or whatever it is, right? Think of this as puzzles, right? That figure it out, and it just makes you excited and happy that you got it done, right? You figured it out. So unmute. Let me see real quick if anybody has any questions about anything. So mine is active now. You guys can test now. I don't mind giving this to you guys. I'm gonna shut it down at the end anyways. Okay, so you guys test for me. That's my load balancer, but don't forget to add port 5000. Okay, if you don't want to add port 5000, then you would need to, I don't want to go ahead, I don't want to do this now. Okay guys, let's do it. Okay, let's go to Nginx and add this. Okay, I don't want us to keep typing, and you know why we did this last class, right? So now let me test my load balancer first, just to make sure that it works. If I put my load balancer here, and then with that 5000, it should work. What now? What now? So this is it. It's available. It's active. Okay. Load balancer security group. Anything in there that's causing that not to work? A load balancer security group. HTTP everywhere. 5000. 502 bad gateway on your side. One thing after the other, after the other. Web server security group. It's allowing traffic from the load balancer, HTTP, yeah. HTTPS from load balancer, yes, yes, yes. Port 5000 is opened, yes. Why is that? Shows the using this enable, right? Or AWS does not open. I've never actually, so maybe that's why it doesn't. Let's do this first, okay? Let's just make sure it still works here. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let's just make sure that this still works using the EC2 DNS or the IP. Let's go here. Let me copy this. Make sure it still works with just using the IP or the. It might be expecting only port 80. It might be expecting only port 80. Yes. Let me see. Oh. Do we have 5000 open on the load balancer? If we want it to run on port 5000, we have that open on the load balancer. Look, here's another thing to learn, guys. Where's the load balancer security group? Does it have port 5000 open? Custom TCP 2000, 5000. Yeah, it does have it open. No. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Here, let me do this real quick. Instances, again, let me test this. Copy, test here, 5000. Is this working? Yeah, it works, but for the load balancer, it looks like it's not. Let's do this. Let's go into the server. Let me push this to the left. Let's do this. Let's change. Let's do the Nginx part where we flip from having to put 5000 to just pasting it in the browser. So maybe load balancer on AWS's side, because they're managing the load balancer, it's only expecting port 80 and port 443. That's just my observation. Yeah, I don't think the security group so far, but let's try this. Let's go to this. Remember last class? Remember this when we had to do this Nginx configuration so that we don't have to keep typing port 5000. Oh my God, what did I just do? Control C. Let's go into Nginx and edit this configuration right here. Add this. Control C this code right here. Okay, so that we're gonna stop using, let's go here, go back to the code, come to where server is, right here. Remove all of this. So now as your cursor is blinking here, do Control K, until you get to this part right here. Remove everything up until this last one right here. And then now paste. Use your mouse, right click and paste. Okay. Now that is done, so now Nginx will take that request in and then push it to this on this server. Okay. And you can see we don't need to change this IP right here to our EC2 instance IP because we're inside the machine itself. Go ahead and click on Control X, Y, enter. Okay. Now do service Nginx restart. Paste, enter. Okay, do check config on, paste, on. Let's check the status and see if it says active and it's running. Okay, it says it's active and it's running. Let me try the load balancer URL again. I did use the security group for the load balancer, right? Listeners, HTTP 80. Okay. And what else? So let me copy the load balancer URL again. And again, I don't need to add 5,000. I don't need to add 5,000. Yeah, that fixed it, guys. So yeah, it's not expecting this. Load balancer is not expecting this. I don't know why this is not working. My guess here is AWS expects only communication to their load balancer because they're managing the load balancer. They're expecting connection only from 80 and 443. So if it was 80, it works because it's just 80 is known to all browsers as a regular route to open HTTP files. So yeah, thank you guys. I know I have some other additional things here, but those are not, the load balancer part is the biggest part. From there on, you guys can watch previous videos about, making it HTTPS. We did a video about that before, but the biggest part is just putting it behind the load balancer. Okay, that was a lot, and that was a lot of troubleshooting. And again, I'm always happy when we have to troubleshoot. I think that's when we learn more, when we have to wait and troubleshoot. Thank you guys. I'll see you all next Sunday. Okay, I'll think about new topics that are relevant that you should think about putting on your resume. We'll do labs on those, and then we'll continue from there. Okay. Thank you guys. If you have a question, I can take just one question. Okay, I can take just one question. Otherwise, I'm gonna count down to 10. Okay. I'm still getting a bad gateway error. Just watch the video and see what I did. Okay, watch the video and see what I did, and you should be able to fix it. Mohammed Khan. Just watch the video again. You might want to do it first yourself and then fast forward, and just so you don't have to watch the whole video again. So guys, that's it. Load balancer works. Everything works. Thank you. I'm gonna don't forget to shut down everything, guys. Do not forget to shut down everything. Okay, your EC2 instance, your RDS. If I were you, now that everything's working, I'll just take what do you call it? I'll take a screen an AMI. Maybe you want to use it later to continue from where you stopped. Create an AMI, use it to launch a new instance, and then your work is where you left off. Okay, and this is what's usually done in real life. If you want to replicate this server now, you take an AMI. Now that everything's working fine, right? You would take an AMI and then replicate it on multiple servers, and then you can do load balancing across multiple servers. Remember when we did auto scaling, combining that with load balancing and all that. Okay, before I count to 10, I see someone unmuted and wanted to ask a question. Next Sunday, yeah, every Sunday, these sessions are always hands-on. These sessions is to teach you hands-on, to give you that confidence of taking up a cloud engineer job. Yes. So Mohammed Khan, great question. Next Sunday, will you have hands-on? Yes. Every Sunday is supposed to be a hands-on. If I don't do a hands-on, there's something wrong. Okay. The goal is for me to do hands-on, and you guys are following. Okay.
You charge for an AMI.
Yeah, because of EBS, because it's gonna store that snapshot. It's gonna need a space to store that in, right? So yes, if it's beyond the free tier, there might be a free tier for snapshot, but I'll recommend you Google and see. But I think at some point, if you leave AMI there for very long, it does get to a point where you then start to see like little, like $1, $2, $3 for this month, or $2 for this month. Nothing significant for this project. Nothing significant. I wouldn't care too much about that. Yeah, Mohammed. Yeah.
I had a snapshot before, and it charged me.
Okay, how much did it charge you?
I had it for like a month.
Oh, like a month.
$1 or $2.
Yeah. It's usually something in that range. Yeah.
I guess when you leave it on
for a very
while,
long time.
It's gonna charge you.
Yeah. All right, guys, I need to run now. But thank you. This was amazing. My best session so far. You guys know why. And I hope you guys learned a lot, and you can see how things work in real life. Don't get frustrated. Enjoy it. Don't get frustrated in real life. Enjoy it. Enjoy seeking the answer. Be curious. That's what companies love about individuals. You don't get frustrated, but you're curious to learn, okay, and find answers. All right. I see you guys. Lucky said one of my best. Me too. All right. I see you guys next Sunday. Thank you, guys. Thank you, and have a great rest of your week. Thanks. Bye.